Do you support arming the Syrian Kurds?
I do support continuing to work with them, yes.
No, I didn't say work with them, providing them arms.
Yeah, well, we have provided them with some equipment already and providing them arms, yes. They are part of the Syrian Democratic Forces.
Right.
Now, we haven't taken any specific decisions about that yet, but they are...
The answer is yes, you support arming the Kurds more in Syria.
I support whatever is required to help them move in the direction of Raqqa.
Which could be providing them more arms. What about you, General Dunford?
Senator, it's important. I can't answer this yes or no, and it's important I say a couple of things about this. Number one, they're the most effective force that we have right now and the force that we need to go on Raqqa, and we do have sufficient forces to be able to secure and seize Raqqa.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Do they support removal of Assad?
Today, that is not their stated political objective.
So wait a minute. Let's slow down. Whoa. We have two objectives: to destroy ISIL, right, and to remove Assad. Is that correct, both of you?
We have a military objective to destroy ISIL. I do not have a military objective to remove Assad.
Well, the president has an objective of...
he has a political objective to remove Assad.
All right. So do you agree with me Assad is winning right now?
I think Assad is clearly in a much stronger place than he was a year ago.
Well, thank you. You've always been very honest to this committee. Do you agree that Obama will leave office and Assad will still be in power January 2017?
I don't see a path right now where Assad would not be in office.
So let's talk about how you change the political equation. Do you agree with me that the only way Assad's ever going to leave if there's some military pressure on him that makes the threat militarily more real to him?
I think that's a fair statement, Senator.
Okay, so if the main fighting force inside of Syria is not signed up to take Assad out, where does that force come from?
Senator, I can't identify that force, but I do want to distinguish between what you're suggesting with Assad and Raqqa. The reason why I support the SDF is my number one priority is to stop the planning and conducting of external operations. Moving forward against Raqqa with the SDF is the way to do that.
So let's look at it this way. ISIL's Germany and Assad's Japan. We're focusing on Germany. So will this force, which is mainly Kurd, but not all, can they liberate Raqqa and hold it?
This force is not intended to hold Raqqa, no.
What is the plan to hold Raqqa?
We currently have 14,000 Arabs that have been identified. And
is that the holding force?
That may consist of part of the holding force.
Do we have a plan to hold Raqqa?
We have a plan. It is not resourced, Senator.
All right. So I just want everybody to know where we're at in Syria. We're making gains against ISIL. The main force that we're using are Kurds who can't hold Raqqa. The Arabs have to. You're absolutely right about that. The Kurdish force, which is the main center of gravity inside of Syria, at this moment is not interested in putting military pressure on Assad. Other than that, we're in a good spot. Now, I'm not blaming y'all. You didn't create this problem. Years ago, most of you recommended we up the Free Syrian Army when it would have mattered. We are where we are. I just want to make sure that the country knows what's going on in Syria is going to be inherited by the next president. And if there's not a change in strategy to create a ground component that not only can hold Raqqa and put military pressure on Assad, this war never ends. Russia, did they bomb this convoy? UN convoy?
Senator, that hasn't been concluded, but my judgment would be that they did. They're certainly responsible.
Do you agree with me, Secretary Carter? And we've been friends for years, and I'm sorry it's so contentious.
That's all right.
You're a good man. What should we do about Russia, who was given notice about this convoy, if they in fact bombed a UN convoy delivering humanitarian aid? What should we do about that?
Well, let me put it even a little more harshly, and the chairman said this earlier, the Russians are responsible for this strike, whether they conducted it or not, because they have taken responsibility for the conduct of the Syrians by associating themselves with the Syrian regime. What they're supposed to do, and what Secretary Kerry has been indefatigably pursuing diplomatically, is to get a true cessation of hostilities and get Assad to move aside in a political transition.
They're not doing their
And that is what Secretary Kerry is trying to achieve. Is that difficult? Absolutely. Does it look in the last few days like that's the direction it's headed? No, and he said as much, but that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Do you think the Russians are being helpful? My time is up. Have they been more? Do you think the Russians bombed this convoy? Most likely.
I do, Senator.
Last question. Is there a plan B in terms of, if diplomacy fails, a plan B for Syria that has a military component
Senator, we have
regarding
done,
Assad?
we have done and will continue to do a wide range of planning, and should the President change the policy objectives, we'll be prepared to support those.